What is going on, my fellow comic book readers, collectors, and enthusiasts alike? I'm your host, Alt, here at Control-Alt-Defeat Comics, and today I am bringing you the first in what is more than likely going to be a new weekly series, and that is going to be my Week in Review. That is right, it is a Monday, so we are going to review all of the comics that released last week, which was Tuesday, January 17th, I want to say. I should have had that date pulled up here, but I've got my comics. I read almost everything. There were a couple of things that I didn't read, but this is everything that I actually read from last week's stack. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. And on the very top of the stack, starting off with DC Comics from last week, we have got DC KO issue number 3. This was the main event for the week. Also, actually, before I get into that, let me issue a spoiler warning for anybody who's watching this video. I am going to be going in-depth and talking about and reviewing each of these issues individually throughout this series. If you just wanted to see what comics that I picked up for the week, go check out my New Comic Book Day vlog. It is the first in my new, faster-paced New Comic Book Day vlog style, so I'm going to be probably doing those more, the quicker, faster-paced, not a short, but shorter videos, and then doing the in-depth reviews for the whole week on Monday to talk about everything that I have read up until that point. So, DCKO issue number 3, again, spoiler warning. We're about to talk about the spoilers for all of these books, starting with DCKO, but everything that was released last week. So, again, spoiler warning. All right, now that the spoiler-scared people are gone here, this comic was nuts. Like, first of all, the return of Emperor Joker is awesome, but we've got to talk about the play fake here. Okay, so to give you an idea of what happens in this book, we have got a story. As of the previous one, it has left us with the final 4, I do believe. And in this book, each of those 4 is given the opportunity to choose a partner. And that partner will join them in a tag team against the other competitors. And so each of them gets to choose a partner. Joker, however, gets to choose any partner from the entire multiverse. Everyone else only gets to choose somebody who has participated in this tournament earlier. Rather, they were eliminated in the first issue before the first round officially started, or, whatever the case may be. Because Joker has the most Omega energy right now, which is a huge reveal that Joker has the most Omega energy at the moment. Like, if they make Joker win this whole thing, and we get a universe created by Joker, a Jokerverse, man. Anyway, and the teams that we get are Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan, Superman and Shazam, Lex Luthor and Supergirl, Aquaman and Hawkman, Wonder Woman and Big Barda, Cyborg and Connor Hawk, Zatanna and John Constantine, and then Joker picks his. And let me tell you, Joker makes such a good prank. Such a good prank. He convinces them that he chose the Batman who laughs. Of course, it was actually a joke. He did not really choose the Batman who laughs. It is Emperor Joker is back. That is right. And the story, the fights in this were phenomenal. Another one that we get that is really, really cool is Super Shazam, Superman Shazam, Combo Wombo. I'm gonna try and find it. Oh, here we are. And I feel like the earrings in particular with the blue outfit, I think he's supposed to be a reference to Vegito. This issue blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. And now we are on to the... maybe it was the final 8 before. It was the final 8 before. Now we're on to the final 4. And the final 4 again, I've said too many spoiler warnings, so I'm just going to tell you, it's Lex Luthor, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Joker. And I'm calling it now, Joker is going to beat Wonder Woman. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Lex beats Superman. This issue was insane. This issue was absolutely phenomenal, and the way it ends as well, the next round, they're not fighting each other. They're fighting the absolute versions. And Booster Gold. So yeah, next issue's gonna be so hype. I can't wait to read some more of these. But yeah, that 10 out of 10 issue, absolutely probably the best issue of DCKO so far. Honestly, it was just so good. Next up for my DC week was Wonder Woman Black and Gold 2026 special. This is a very nice little book. I will say this is not nearly as good as the Superman Red, White, and Blue special that we got recently, or Superman Red and Blue, whatever it was. That was really good. This is still good, but it could be better. The stories in this were alright, though. None of them really, stood out to me as something phenomenal and gripping, so I don't really feel like I need to talk too much about this, but it was a solid read, and I still enjoyed it. I would give that, let's be generous and say, 6 out of 10. It's above average, but it is not, amazing by any stretch of the imagination, and I believe that was everything that came out from DC last week. Yes, that was everything that came out from DC last week. So now we're going to move on to Marvel. We've got the Ultimates issue 20. This is the best story that Marvel has ongoing right now. This or Ultimate Spider-Man. This is great. This is so much fun, and you learn so many interesting things throughout this. Learning that, all the backstory of the Vision, and the Vision ending up being a version of Human Torch, the original Human Torch that from the 60s. And that was really fun. We get to see a lot of action in this. There's a giant mech robot that's knocking planes out of the sky, and, everything. It's so much fun, and the intrigue and action in this is insane. And then what he does to Nick Fury in the end of this is amazing. And then the end of this is very much this image of Vision, and it's just really good. I really liked how this story played out, all in all. I thought it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, overall, I would say that gets a 9 out of 10. It could potentially be a slight bit of an improvement, but it is really good. Is it my favorite issue of the Ultimates yet? No, not my favorite yet, but it is still phenomenal, and it's high up there. So next up on the Marvel list is gonna be Amazing Spider-Man Torn. This is issue number 4. This story is a lot of fun. I really like the Peter Parker in his college age. I think that's kind of the prime time for Peter. And this, I love Peter, seeing one of his villains moping and just being like, hey, you want to talk about it? And, just chatting up this literal demon girl who just tried to kill him, and, doing his best to help her, and, feeling bad for her, and them instantly switching to him trying to help her. And then these demonic entities take over her body, and she goes after the book, and she fights Peter. Peter gets cut, and his blood spills on the book, which apparently opens some kind of doorway for these beings to enter our world. So we'll see. don't know if this is a 5 or a 6 issue mini. I think this is a mini. I don't think this is going to be an ongoing. I think this is going to be ending soon. And I'm going to be sad when it does, because this is actually a lot of fun. I would give this one a solid 8.5 out of 10. This was a lot of fun, a lot of heart, a lot of soul, and kind of everything you want from a Spider-Man story. You know, like that is the quintessential Peter Parker story. Him even going out of the way to help even a villain that has legitimately tried to kill him. Next up on the list, we have got Doctor Strange issue 2. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, hold on. This, Spider-Man tour, did I give it an 8.5 out of 10? 8.5 out of 10, if I didn't. I don't remember if I did. 8.5 out of 10. Solid. Anyways, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange issue 2. This is a new storyline for Doctor Strange, and we've got, just a lot of action throughout this particular issue. Like, the start of it, you got a lot of action, and then you get this meeting with this goddess queen girl, and like you find out basically that like they're men. They like this race only uses men to like reproduce, essentially, and they keep their men like in a chamber that like they only then go into to reproduce. And the bad guy, as it turns out, was going after those men in order to kill them all and basically keep their race from being able to reproduce. And it's interesting, and this villain is a interesting one, I will say that. He looks cool. I like him. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. This story is okay. I would say a 7.5 out of 10. Not the most incredible thing I've ever read in the world, but it was enjoyable, and I can't knock it. Now, Null, issue number 1. This was my Marvel main event for the week, and hoo boy, it delivered. I love Al Ewing's writing. I've always enjoyed Al Ewing's writing. I think his writing is phenomenal. Who's the artist on this? Tim Walls, is it? Tom Walls. I said Tim Walls. Tom Walls. But like, you've got just some phenomenal art throughout here. Like this art of the Celestial that would eventually become Nowhere, which, by the way, I love that we actually get a good look of this guy, because I don't know, we don't really learn or see a lot of the Celestial that would become Nowhere. So I really love that we did learn about that. And obviously Null he's this prisoner, but he escapes, and that's basically kind of the entire premise of this issue is Null escaping, and like he brutalizes this guy, removes his head and everything. Like, it's so sick, and I loved everything about it. We've got another dude where he like rips his spine out of his back, like he just shoves his hand through a guy. There's multiple people that he just decapitates, actually, and it is, this entire story, this entire book is essentially just gore. Or excuse me, not gore, just Null tearing, ripping through people and whatnot, and it's really sick. So I really liked this. Can't wait to see where the next issue goes. I'm a big Null fan, so I've got to give that one like a 9.5 out of 10. So good. And then honestly, it's a hard toss up between Null and this as far as my Marvel main event for the week. But this is Dungeons of Doom issue number 1. And this story, it kind of takes place, you sort of follow various different teams as they're all, like, searching through this underground cavern from Doctor Doom and finding these, horrific things or whatever. And it's kind of set up in chapters. And you've got like this Black Panther type character who's working for the Bat God, it seems, and like all of it is very interesting. You've got this poor dude who just gets like tentacled by this horrific Cthulhu frog thing, and it's a lot of fun, man. Like this is a great start. I'm gonna put it just a hair below null. I'm gonna put this at a 9 out of 10. I think it's a great start. It could. I'm hoping it picks up and continues. I know this is only a 3-issue series, so I'm really hoping that the next issue kind of picks up a little bit more in terms of the action. But that is going to be it for the Marvel comics, and now I only have one independent comic to talk about this week. Only one. I only got through the one, and that one is Transformers, issue 28. And let me tell you, this story's been so much fun. I love Spike as a character. He's just such a fun character. I really enjoyed getting to see oh my gosh, what's her name? RC Magnus. Yeah, I really love the new RC Magnus. The end of this, though, is absolutely brutal. I mean, just some of the most brutal imagery that we have seen in Transformers so far. Just like tearing that guy's face, ripping it up, and then drinking of his energon. Essentially, like devouring his spark there or whatever. That was something else, and it talks about them like giving him a permanent death. And man, they made Megatron so intimidating and sick in this, and I love it. I loved this issue so much. I do miss Daniel Warren Johnson's writing, but I've got to give it up to Robert Kirkman. He has not missed since he's taken over. It has been hit after hit. So, 10 out of 10, no notes, phenomenal. This story is always good. Now then, this is going to be where we have a little bit of a conundrum about us here, because we have now got 2 books that are 10 out of 10s in my mind. That is DCKO, issue number 3, versus Transformers. I thought there was a Batman Night Fight issue that came out this week. Was that last week? I guess that must have been last week, because it's not in my stack, and I definitely read it whenever it came out. And, you know, I'm just going to talk about that Night Fight issue real quick. If it was last week, and I didn't get the chance to review it on this series, 10 out of 10, that issue blew my mind. I swore in front of a customer when I read that issue. Wow. But anyway, I'm going to assume that was the previous week, so we're talking about these 2 here. These two are, it's such a hard toss-up for me. Like, it's so hard, because the heart of the writing in Transformers is so great. But then you've got Scott Snyder's work in here. I think I'm going to have to give the win. I think I'm going to have to give the win to DCKO issue number 3. That is going to be my pick of the week for the week. DCKO issue number 3. It was so good, so good. I can't even begin to describe how much I loved that issue. And I cannot wait to see where DCKO continues to go and how far it continues to push itself how the writing continues to improve, how everything just continues and whatnot. So yes, that is going to be it for my week in review this week. This was a banger week. This was, I mean, what was my lowest? A 7 out of 10? A 6 out of 10? I think was the lowest book on the list. And honestly, that probably could have been bumped up a little bit. But there's, maybe I'm easy to please, but this was a really fun week. It was a light week, but it was a great week. Obviously, I did miss the G.I. Joe issue, and that was the end of the Dreadnought War arc. I'm still reading through, I am on issue 10 right now, actually, of G.I. Joe, so I am getting there. I'm hoping to have to be caught up on G.I. Joe by tomorrow, but we will see. But that was the end of this, discussion on the previous week of comics. If you enjoyed this video at any point, please drop a like, leave a comment down below. Any kind of feedback or conversation that you can leave my channel is always greatly appreciated. We just recently hit 34 subscribers, so I wanted to take a time to thank you for watching this, and thank you to anybody who has decided to subscribe to my channel. It really means the world to me that you watched my content and you went, I want to see more. That really does mean a lot to me and is a great motivator for me to continue to pump out videos for you guys. So just, again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, please check out my channel for more comic book content to come. With that being said, I will see you in my next video. Have yourself a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and I am out of here.